Stan Gibilisco here, proprietor and operator of amateur radio station W1GV. Whiskey 1 Good Vibrations. I want to thank you for your comments in my last video, or one of my most recent videos. I think it was the last one, having to do with the likelihood of societal collapse and what would we do in the event it took place, but not specifically as ham radio operators. Suppose that we have the ultimate Armageddon, the ultimate collapse of civilization, and I have theories as to how this might happen. One of the theories that seems to be in consonance with what I read in the Holy Bible, Jesus Christ told about quite a lot of detail about the final days and what it would be like as Armageddon took place. There would be earthquakes, volcanoes, fire falling from the sky. Seems like more than just an internet meltdown to me. It seems more like something like an asteroid colliding with the Earth. But we'd see that coming, wouldn't we, astronomers with all of their sophisticated equipment? Wouldn't we see that coming? And the answer is not necessarily. Suppose that an asteroid wandering through space, having no apparent collision course with Earth, passes just the right distance from the sun, very close, so as to have the sun's gravitation swing it around and hurl it at the Earth. We wouldn't see it coming because the sun would be too bright and would obscure it. Even the most sophisticated telescopes would not see this mile-diameter rock, 1.6 kilometers for those of you who like metric, hurling at the Earth and then smack. We do not know the day when this will happen. Does that sound familiar? It's coming. I don't know. There seems to be kind of a guarantee there. What's going to happen afterwards? There won't be very many people left. But apparently, from the few that are left, a new civilization will arise, which will be based on cooperation rather than warfare and competition. Only the fittest will survive, and the fittest will be those who cooperate with each other in the wake of such a disaster. More like a catastrophe than a disaster. And there will, among those, remain a few technologically savvy ham radio operators who use solar power and other methods that do not require maintenance, that would need the use of anything to do with civilization. Pure solar power, maybe something like ultracapacitors instead of batteries, things that would last for a long, long time, longer than an individual human lifetime maybe. In any case, in the days following the disaster and as things calmed down, the tsunamis had done their work, and only a few people were left with bows and arrows, not to shoot other people who might try to steal from them, but to shoot animals for food. Fish in the sea. I got one comment living on the Irish coast from a viewer on the Irish coast saying we'll eat fish and then drink poteen. I have to confess I don't know what that is, but it sounds a little bit like whiskey or something. Well, that'll run out, brother. There'll only be so much of that. You know, they'll figure out a way to distill that, though, I'm sure. Anyway, a few ham radio operators will remain, and what do you suppose they will do? Well, of course, they'll start listening for people on the air, and they'll hear nothing but atmospheric static, just as a dead band might be. And where would you look for signals? In the ham radio bands, presumably. Would you hear anything? Only if someone else was transmitting something. And what would they likely be transmitting? CQ World, or CQ Armageddon, or just CQ. This is W1 GV Whiskey 1, good vibrations. But somebody's going to have to transmit, not just receive. Otherwise, everybody will be listening and nobody will be saying anything and nobody will make any contacts. The dead band syndrome at its ultimate. Don't let that happen. When and if civilization collapses completely, for whatever reason, asteroid, more than just an electromagnetic pulse, unless it comes from the sun or some nearby star. It'd have to be more than just a nuke from some other country. I'm talking about devastation of the entire population of the world, every country, only a few people left, and a few of those few with ham radio equipment, powered by solar or other means that do not require civilization to work. So go ahead and send da 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 da, and whatever your call may be. CW, single sideband, whatever. But send and send and send. Have great patience, because it may be quite a while before someone happens across your signal. But I can pretty much guarantee you that if you send CQ long enough, someone eventually will hear you and come back to you. Da 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 dit da 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 dit dit, and then whatever. And two people separated by practically half the circumference of this charred and tsunami flooded, destroyed, wrecked planet will have a conversation, establish some kind of a schedule, and I don't know what clocks they'll use, what time standard they'll use. Maybe they'll invent something. I'll always listen for you on this frequency, says one. Agreed, says the other. Let's just pick this frequency and call for each other now and then and see if we can get others to join us. And before you know it, you might have a round table, a very large round table indeed. In the world to come, after the collapse of civilization. Just a little daydream for you. You can invent your own. Stan Gibilisco, W1GV saying 73 and so long, which you can bet, even after Armageddon, will translate into so long, da-da-da-da-da-da.